Hello everyone, my name is Lucy Choma, and in this presentation, I will be reflecting on disability, accessibility, and inclusive learning. I will discuss my goals for this course, accessibility barriers I have experienced in online learning, and how this model is changing the way I think about instructional design and digital learning environment. One of my major goals for this course is to better understand accessibility and inclusive learning design, especially within digital learning environment. I want to learn how to intentionally design learning experience that supports diverse learners from the beginning instead of treating accessibility as an afterthought. I also want to learn how to fix accessibility issues within existing learning environment and build a consulting practice and even write an ebook around it, especially within the African context. In this model, I learned the difference between accessibility and accommodation. Accessibility is proactive, it focuses on reducing barriers before learners encounter them. Accommodation is reactive and happens after a learner experiences a barrier and requests support. This distinction changed how I think about instructional design because it reinforced the idea that inclusive learning should begin during the design process itself. Personally, I've experienced several accessibility barriers, course relying heavily on videos without transcript, while others were extremely text heavy without visuals or audio support. I've also encountered scanned PDF documents. They were difficult to use with text to audio tools and worksheets that could not easily be edited digitally. Remembering this experience reaffirms me that small design decisions can significantly affect how learners participate in and experience online learning. For me, accessible learning means creating multiple ways for learners to engage with content while reducing unnecessary barrier. One feature I personally appreciate is having transcript or text documents attached to instructional videos because I learn better when I read and listen at the same time. I also value clear organization, meaningful headings, flexible content formats, and simple navigation because they improve the learning experience. In reality, accessible learning environment benefit all learners, not only learners with disability. And the readings for this model significantly shaped my understanding of accessibility and inclusive learning. Boxler article explained that online learning can either open doors or slam them from learners with disability, and that statement stayed with me because accessibility decision directly affects whether learners feel included or excluded. Then the article from Lomellini and colleague also emphasized that accessibility should be embedded into course development rather than later. Together, these readings helped me see accessibility as part of ethical and learner centered instructional design rather than only a compliance requirement. This module also introduced important legal frameworks, including Section 504, Section 508, and the American with Disability Act, also called ADA. Learning about these laws helped me understand that accessibility is connected not only to usability, but also to equity, inclusion, and civil rights. Watching Haben Girma's TEDx talk was one of the most impactful part of this model for me. One idea that stood out strongly was the understanding that the environment is often the barrier, not the person. Her perspective challenged me to think more deeply about empathy and intentionality within instructional design. And it reminded me that designers influence whether learners feel included or excluded from learning experience. Working on my educational website framework, I'm focusing on creating simpler layouts, clearer navigation structure, meaningful button label, and consistent headings. I'm also thinking more carefully about readability, color contrast, transcript for videos, and mobile friendly learning experience. One challenge I envisage is balancing visual design preference with accessibility best practice while still keeping the website clear and organized. But in all, this model has significantly changed the way I think about accessibility and inclusive learning design. I now understand that accessibility is not simply a feature added at the end of the development, it is a mindset that should guide the entire instructional design process. For this presentation, I referenced two readings and the TED Talk by Girma in 2014. Thank you for listening. I would love to hear your thoughts and experience as well with accessibility barriers you have experienced in digital learning and what design practices you think help create more inclusive learning environment for diverse learners. Thank you.